Another blue sky, warm day. I like it. Well, pushing cattle on horseback was always a lot of fun. I miss doing that. But I'm glad we got a chance to do it. For, I don't know how many years, 6 I think. I worked on one ranch here that had a really big cattle range and a lot of cattle. It was always fun. It took us probably a couple weeks in the spring to move them up, and about a month or more in the fall bringing them home. They were scattered out and you couldn't find a half of them. And it was really enjoyable. I really miss doing that. What I don't miss doing working on trucks. Oh, what a pain. So my water pump, if you're not a car guy, it's down here in front of the engine, and it's buried pretty deep. The only good thing with this truck is this fan shroud from here to there. It's probably at least a foot long. The radiator's clear up here, so if I can get all this out of the way, this tanks will have to come off. There's one on either side, and got a saw up here. This thing's been handy. I haven't used it a lot, but the few times I have, it's nice to have it right there and easy to get to. Good for small tree across the road and that kind of stuff. But anyway, if I can get all that off of there, the good news is that there's quite a little bit of room here to work. It shouldn't be horrible, but it usually is. That fan, it's going to have to come off. I don't know if I have a wrench that big or not. I have a big crescent that would probably open that far. If not, I'll have to go find one, I guess. But anyway, these serpentine belts, those are a nightmare. I really hate messing with those. But this is the tensioner here. Shouldn't be too hard if I can find something to pry against. Maybe right here on the frame up to there. That should push toward the motor, I believe, to get the belt on and off, but not exactly what I was hoping to be doing today. I got too much to do for stuff like this, but got to get it done. Got to have my truck. No two ways about it. I have to do this. Looks a little different now. A lot of room between the... Look how skinny that little radiator is. And then you got a transmission cooler radiator in the front. But look how much room there is here. There's got to be a foot and a half. But got the old water pump out. Things were going reasonably well. I got the new one up here. The idler pulley I thought was a little loose. Whoops, shoot. Doggone camera, what is going on? Thinking I'm going to end up having to get a new camera here real soon. That thing keeps doing that. Anyway, that idler pulley I thought was a little loose, but I think it's just the bolt in the middle. The bearing and everything feels good. But anyway, I need to get a new fan belt. I got the old water pump out. The only trouble is this clutch fan. I can't get that big nut out of there. This is part of the pulley that runs on the belt, and it's attached to that fan. With the pump in there, I tried to get that off, and it won't budge. All it did was slip on the belt. So I went ahead and took it out in one piece. Now I'm not really positive what to do to grab that. I'm thinking a big strap wrench or something, which I don't have. I could get one or make one. The bicycle chain or something like that would probably work, but or even just a belt stuck in a vise. But I just priced the new a new clutch fan, just replace it. That's 75 bucks, and it does not come with the actual fan. It's just this piece here. So I got this unbolted. Yeah, hard to do. Got this unbolted here. The fan, the fan itself, I wouldn't be able to get off with that nut in the way. And that, I forget what she told me that was, 100 and a quarter or something like that, for a doggone fan. I can't imagine that being that much money. I could probably get one from the junkyard, but again, how do I get it off? Now, then, after I got this all apart, I'm kind of halfway wondering, the water was coming from behind that pulley, and I couldn't really tell exactly where from. There is a weep hole, they call it, for when your bearing goes out, that is supposed to let water out and kind of let you know that the bearing is out. Well, this here, this little hose right there, it looks pretty old too. I should replace that. But to do that, I gotta take off the air conditioning pump, maybe the alternator and the bracket to get to that. I don't know, and I'll have to pull off the air cleaner. You got hoses galore. I bought a new thermostat for the upper end, and I do need to change that anyway. But dang it, I didn't want to do all that today. It's down in that hole. Probably the easiest way to do it is to pull that air conditioner pump off. Then I can check that hose too. But like I said, it really sucks when you tear into something and you find more broken parts, more things that are wrong than what you set out to fix. And it's kind of like wiping a clean spot on the wall. You wipe off a smudge. Next thing you know, that clean spot that you wiped off, it makes the whole wall look bad. Then you gotta do the whole wall. And then you look over, then the wall next to it. It looks bad now because this one's clean and that one's not. So you wipe off that one. Next thing you know, the ceiling's looking dirty, and it just doesn't stop. You just keep diving in deeper and deeper and deeper until you either give up and buy a different truck, or you pretty much fix everything there is to be fixed. And that adds up to a lot of time and a lot of money. Anyway, we got a friend that stopped by. She's kind of parked behind Cindy. I think I can wiggle out of there though and steal Cindy's truck and run into town and see what a new belt and a strap wrench costs, and go from there. That water pump itself, it doesn't feel like it has any play to it. I'm like 99% sure that was the problem and that it was leaking. There was a lot of water gushing out from behind that pulley. I hope it was that and not this little hose here. It might have been that little hose, I don't know. I couldn't see it good enough. It's buried in there too deeply to see for sure where the water's coming from, but pretty sure it's the water pump. Anyway, even if it's not, I got a new water pump. Just that much less to go wrong. I'll put it in there, even if this one is still good. Trucks are a pain in the butt, you know what? I've always said that if I could go back in time and shoot the guy that invented vehicles, I probably would do it. Because he sure opened us up to a lot of problems. Horse and buggy, if things were that much slower, we would think that was normal. Same as right now, we think cars and trucks are good as it gets, and some days we're going to be like the Jetsons, flying around with little air buggies, and maybe even little time portals or whatever, where you can just jump from here to the East Coast or anywhere in the world in seconds, and just change everything where we don't need cars and trucks. But for now, that's what we've got. And they work great until they don't. What a difference having the right tool makes. I went and bought this chain wrench. Was able to go all the way around this pulley here. And then I built this vise a long time ago. It's kind of nice. It goes in the receiver hitch, but it sticks out far enough that it clears your tailgate. Makes it really handy. You got a workbench and you got a vise too. But anyway, that putting that on there, it was able to pop this big old nut off of there, just no problem at all. So now I need to glue this gasket on here so it stays good enough to put back on. I'll just glue the side that's toward the pump. If I ever have to take it off, there's no scraping on the engine, hopefully. Tried a few drops of super glue, but it just soaks into this gasket stuff. It doesn't even stick. So I got this left from Cindy's differential. Put that on there. Try it. I'm gaining. New water pump is in. Well, back together again. Have to watch, see if there's any leaks anywhere, but I don't think so, hopefully. Be low on antifreeze. But so far I don't see any water gushing out. Before it was coming out from right down in there behind that big pulley on the fan. Well, just ran this down the road a mile or two and back. Still gushing water. So, wasn't the water pump. Dang it. It's got to be that little rubber hose. I can't see it. It's up. It's underneath all this. There's water coming from behind that alternator bracket. Back up into there. Kind of behind the water pump pulley. So it's not the water pump, it's got to be coming from the top of the motor here someplace. So all that effort just to just to fix a water pump that wasn't bad. Oh well, there's the brakes, I guess. Gotta tear into it again, I guess, tomorrow. Fun. See you folks tomorrow. Bye.